I love a good open world game DLC, so here we're covering Ghost of Tsushima, Iki Island. This DLC is included in the Director's Cut edition for Ghost on PS5 and takes you to a brand new island off of Tsushima called Iki Island. You'll come across a collection of sick and dying crazy people on Tsushima and discover a group of Mongols with a new enemy that is not in the base game called a shaman. The shaman will buff the crap out of all of the Mongols nearby, basically causing you to have to deal with the shaman first if you don't want the fight to be 10 times harder. Upon defeating these enemies, you'll learn about someone called the Eagle from Iki Island and off you'll head on a boat. A stressful cutscene takes place, and then you're here, Iki Island. As expected, this new island looks just as phenomenal as the base game, with beautiful beaches, hills and mountaintops, secret caves and more. Once again, I could not stop staring at all times. The DLC is more Ghost of Tsushima. It will feel very similar to the base game, just with harder enemies and a new few abilities and items thrown in. Some of these abilities include a horse charge, where you can run through and annihilate enemies with your horse, and some skills that help you find new secrets, which are archery challenges used to increase your focus, and animal shrines, which will reward you with some decent charms and allows you to play music for and pet some more animals, including cats. You'll also face off against some absolutely obnoxious enemies who will switch the weapon they're using midway through fights, meaning you'll really have to have perfected your stance switching more than ever, as these are possibly some of the hardest enemies you've faced thus far. Iki Island also helps teach you more about your dad, who is mentioned a small amount throughout the base game, but is covered more greatly in this DLC, adding more weight and helping you understand more about what happened. This includes small areas around the map which will send you into a flashback or memory to experience more of your father and his time on Iki Island. There are also a handful of new boss fights, both mandatory and optional, one of which was the hardest time I've had in a boss fight throughout the entire game. The other takes place at the end of a new mythic quest, which can be used to obtain a new and very unique armor set. One of the towns has a dueling ring where you're able to face off against opponents using wooden swords to win supplies and bragging rights. Altogether, this DLC won't set the world on fire, but it's a fun addition to an already stellar game that just gives you more Ghost of Tsushima, and it definitely does it well, whilst adding new challenges, a beautiful island, and a host of new characters. Sorry if this video was short, but I wanted to talk about the DLC in its own video. If y'all enjoyed, make sure to leave a like and stay tuned for some more games and shit.